Oh, hello there. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a so production. We're doing it. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a so production. We're doing it on Wednesday, June the 12th, 2024. Thank you for joining me wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's here in Canada, anywhere down south of the United States, further down south of that, Mexico. Getting a little bit of dry throat because I got to yell a little bit. There's a little bit of noise outside, as you can tell. We'll get into that. Mexico, South America, over there in Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, the Koreas, the Philippines, Bangkok. Yes, please. If you're just tuning in, if it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram, follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel if you'd like to get the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri. If you'd like to fiscally, financially give us that little see it grow, baby. Like the penis that never stops growing. Like the cock that's a grower, not a shower, or a shower, not a grower. It doesn't matter. Beautiful sons and daughters of bitches, you beautiful bastards, you sexy sons and daughters of bitches out there. Cousins, distant relatives, second cousins removed, twice removed. Questionable behavior, nonetheless, we love them. They did their time, they came back. Good people, good people. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As you can tell, we are outside, the only podcast that has the world in the palm of its little clammy hands. Because the outside is where it's at. It's not a podcast, it's an outcast. The podcast for the outcasts. We're outside. If you've been with me from the get-go, you know what it is. We go everywhere. And sometimes we do it because we want to. Other times we do it because there's construction at the building. There's lots of noise. They've been going out and your boy can't catch any sleep sometimes. Because of things that are going on in his life. But nonetheless, we push forward. And I'm okay with construction on my building. And it's not even my building, it's a communal building. I don't know what the construction is for. I'm hoping it's a communal sex dungeon up on the rooftop. That's right, communal sex dungeon for the entire building. I'm hoping that's what they're doing because they did fix the roof already. I don't know what they're drilling and bumping and grinding, these fellas. I'll tell you one thing, it's a restricted area. No backdoor entrance around here, gotta go through the front. That's what they say between 8 to 5 in my place of residence. But nonetheless, why we're outside today, or just because we just felt like it, because it's summertime, and as we do in the summertime, spring summertime. Is it summertime yet? I think it's summertime. The sun's out, sky's out, you're out. What are we even talking about? I don't know. It's construction. So yes, the drilling, the noise is nice. And I'm outside right now. And a lot of people, they're like, how do we get our podcast to go outside? How do you I don't have the means to spend a lot of, you look at the background here, it's a beautiful park that's manicured and pedicured and the grass is cut. It's got manscaped. Literally, there are men's doing scaping right now, which we thank them for. Keep it groovy. You're like, oh, how do I get a beautiful background like this? Well, you can do it like me. You can spend millions, nay, trillions of dollars on background settings. That's how you do it. Spend a lot of money. Or you can get a blue screen or a green screen. It's green, purple screen. Does it have to be a green screen for it to be a green screen? Is it just, I don't know. But we're all about production value here. That and keeping it $1.50. So yes, have I been dealing with a little bit of construction at my joint? Yes. Is it going to be ongoing for the next couple of months? Yes. Am I even staying in the same place? Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Who knows where we'll end up in fall/winter in the coming months, in the coming time flies. So yes, you lose a little bit of sleep, but then again, that's nothing a little coffee can't fix. And I'm okay with that. Because if one thing that I've learned in life is that life is but a long waiting game. Or at least a portion of it is a long waiting game. They should tell you that right off the bat. When you come out, they should just tell you you're going to be waiting for a lot of things in life. Your dad's pumping, busting your mom's vag. Now you gotta wait 9 months to formulate, to get cooked up. Oh, there's a fire going on now. They know this shit is hot in this bitch. Be right back to ya. But it's all about waiting and patience. And not letting the noise distract you or get to you. Or whatever the noise may be. But that's what it is. I got a little dose of practice and patience again yesterday. Just overall in general, been getting a lot of practice and patience. And it's nice. Because I had to take my car yesterday to the dealership to wait. You got to book an appointment. You call, speak with somebody, you take your name, number, they set up an appointment. They forget to email you a reminder to remind you that you got an appointment. So now you got to give them a call. Day before, just checking in, just wanted to bring my car in. And they're like, oh, we don't see an appointment here. I'm like, oh, good, that's great. And that was the earliest time you could squeeze me in. Somebody said you can come in on the 11th. That's the earliest I could come in. Minor little issue, brake lights. No big deal, just need to change them. And you're like, why don't you just take it, you do it yourself, or go to a local mechanic or a Jiffy Lube. I don't even know, do Canadians, do we even have Jiffy Lube? I don't think so. Ours is called Mr. Lube. I think Jiffy Lube, despite the fact that I know it, I think is a US branch of men and women who specialize in the lubricating and keeping it moist and wet and slippery and stuff. But nonetheless, I don't know what I'm talking about. The point is that my appointment was not jotted down, but they're like, oh, okay, bring it in anyway. I'm like, so we didn't need an appointment, so I could just call in and bring it in? But anyway, get there. Now you gotta drop the vehicle off. Now you gotta sit there. Now I'm sitting there, and it reminds me of the doctor's office where you go and sit at the waiting room. Now I'm waiting for, and I see my car. I'm sitting, and I see my car parked outside. And they're like, I asked them, how long is this gonna take? They said roughly a couple hours. I'm like, great. What this guy's got right here is a lot of time on his feet. And hands too, don't forget. But I got a lot of time on my feet, baby. So I'll wait. So I'm sitting there, listen to my tunes, listen to my podcasts that I listen to. I'm eyeing the car. 10 minutes goes by, the car's not still in the shop. 15 minutes goes by, still not in the shop. 20 minutes goes by, still not in the shop. Half an hour goes by, let's go for a smoke break. Why don't we just go for a smoke break, relax? Because life is but a patience game or a waiting game, where life is just a big waiting room. We're mostly, that's what you do. A lot of your time is spent waiting, just waiting for things. Come back from the smoke, 45 minutes has gone by, car still parked outside. An hour goes by, I'm like, all right, let's go to the old service counter, see what's up. And I speak with somebody there, beautiful gentleman, help me out. He's like, all right, well, yours is next. I'm like, great. Just want to make sure it's getting in. Goes in, and normally I've already, here's the sitch right now. Let me give you the backstory. The brake lights, every now and again, they keep burning out on me. So I got to replace them frequently. I've replaced them several times now. So I'm like, let me go to the dealership, because it is a brand new car. It's not a schmancy car. Family car, economy car that goes on budget, but nonetheless, a new car. So I'm like, this should not be, doesn't feel, let me just get it checked out. If anything needs to be taken care of, let's put it on the warranty. 5-year warranty, baby, that's what's up. And I get there, and the guy at the service, he's like, yeah, we're gonna do a diagnostic. That's gonna cost you $150. If we find anything wrong with the car and we have to fix it, we'll get rid of $150 and we'll fix it for you. First, we gotta do a diagnosis. So I'm like, all right, I'm telling you, it's a brand new car. And he's like, well, we just got to make sure there's no accidents. There's no rodents that have creeped up in the car and chewed up anything. I'm like, there's no rodents, no accidents. So the $150, let's just nip it in the bud, all right? Not going to be selling ice to the Iceman today, son. Not today. As a younger man, I've worked at dealerships, pretty much every position in dealerships. So I know the game. Don't tell me the diagnostic costs $150. All right? Just got to, because we're on a budget. This is a skeleton crew. This is a crew this is piracy at this point. This is we're all hands on deck. I'll say that. So I'm just like, all right, check it out, please and thank you. But the buck 150, let's cool it there. Let's figure out what it is first before we go out spitting out numbers. Wait there around 2 hours, comes back. Now the diagnostic has been done. Now mind you, again, being a skeleton crew operation here, I personally have not had I've not had a diagnostic in ages. I've not had a chance to go to I don't have time to go to the doctor. I've not had a skin rash. Psoriasis. The dentist. What are you even talking about? So when I hear the car's got to get a diagnostic, it's a little bit of I'm like, all right, cool it with the medical terms. That's all I had to say. In my head, of course. I'm just like, a car doesn't need a Yes, the mechanic is like the doctor for the car. I get it. But I don't know how I feel about calling it a diagnostic for cars. Let's enjoy this noise. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Production value. Comes back. They fixed the light. They changed the light bulb. And I'm like, all right, what's the diagnosis? What's the diagnostic? What the doctors say? And they're like, we didn't find anything. It might be the fact that you've been using aftermarket light bulbs, and that's why your brake lights keep going on. Like, aftermarket they're light bulbs. They're for the brakes. They're cheap light bulbs. What difference does it make? Well, sometimes it makes a difference. Here I was spending on budgets so that I don't have to, because if it's a schmancier car I could get, I'm not driving a, man, there's a lot of noise. Some people get music in their podcasts, not this guy. Real shit. Sounds of nature and whatnot. Hell yeah. I'm not driving a Beamer, I'm not driving a Merc, I'm not driving a Ferrari, I'm not driving a Lambo here. So light bulbs should be light bulbs, all right? I like the, old times. You just took a car and got regular parts and everything fit, and you can kind of sort of do it yourself. But now everything's so sensitive and you got to be careful. Sound of nature. Hell yeah. So now I've been told I gotta monitor the car. Now monitor the lights. So to watch for, further instances of light bulbs going out. Then we gotta bring it back into another diagnostic. So life is all about patience, or something along those lines. At least one portion of it is patience. And knowing that when somebody's drilling right above you for 2 hours, you can easily go for a walk outside and don't mind the noise, or just hope that they come and just open up the door and open up your eye socket and start drilling in the tear ducts of your eyeballs. So you just drill in my eye at this point. Hammer in my eye. Just put a drill bit in my eye and grind it out. Just crack open my head and drill. That's what you'd hope for. Or at least, again, a communal bathhouse or a little sex dungeon up top on the roof for summertime. Get everybody going. Adults only, of course. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it above the belt, and let's have fun out there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But that's neither here or there. That's just where I'm at in life right now. Wherever you are, I hope you're also being tested in all sorts of ways. All sorts of tests are being thrown at you, whether it's children, whether it's parents, whether it's friends, whether it's work, relationships, just doing your thing. assignments, deadlines, the boss being on your back like a fucking monkey. Shout out to the bosses out there. Shout out to the monkeys. It is awfully hot outside today. The past couple of days in Toronto, it's been a little bit breezy, not gonna lie to you. So I did come out with the old windbreaker, cheetah print windbreaker out here, but I'm gonna take it off because it's really hot now. Just bear with me a few seconds while we get this shit rolling, motherfuckers. Is it time to expose the sex? Does this do anything for you? Hit the like button and leave a comment if this does anything for you. It's all in the wrist. All in the wrist. All in the wrist. We'll just let that sit there for, oh yeah. I thought I could, power through it, but the pits are getting steamy already, and the pits are nice. But nonetheless, boys and girls, I hope you're doing well, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in and around this beautiful planet. Let's get right into it. Let's have a little bit of fun. We are outside throughout the week, in the next coming weeks. Who knows where we're gonna end up? On the streets, maybe. In people's homes, also maybe. On your lap, yes. In your head, definitely. And thank you for letting me be a part of your lives and also being a part of mine. But let's get right into it, baby boys, baby girls. In and around the world, there's so many great things happening. Scientists, artists, constructionists, deconstructionists, physicists, biologists, chemists, snakes. Things are happening in and around the world. Scientists have been looking at birds and wondering what to do with these beautiful feather friends after they're deceased, after they leave, their souls leave this plane and goes off to, and then you got a dead bird on the ground. What is that, a dead pigeon? Or a pigeon, as the French say? So a scientist was walking around, I'm guessing, saw dead birds on the ground. And at one point or another, he's like, man, we could be using these dead birds. And I myself am a scientist. Not like a legit scientist. Don't have a diploma or a degree. But I'm a fan of science. I'll chemically imbalance myself, motherfuckers. You don't know me. I will chop it up and grind it up, and whatever needs to be done will be done for science. I represent science is basically what I'm trying to tell you, all right? Science ends with me, starts with me, and ends with me. It's what I do. It's one of the many things I do. In fact, I invented science, and I plan to push it forward as well. So science, once again, starts with this guy, ends with this guy. Don't question the science, man. And don't question the science, man, as well. Like, what do you mean show us a degree? You show me your degree. Clearly I'm outside. I'm not in my offices. Nonetheless, one of my colleagues, I would say, was looking at dead birds and what are we to do about these beautiful feather friends who are now no longer alive? Kick them? No, you dirty fuck. Picked them up, looked at them, and tossed it in the air, and it went flat on it, splat. Dead. You gotta check to see if the bird is alive or still got juice in it. Dead bird. Well, luckily we have technology today. So my colleagues in the science community decided to take these dead birds, get them taxidermied, stuff them with drone technology and AI and a camera, and let them take flight once more. So So now we are using as a scientific community dead birds that are drones that could be used to do drone activity with, such as measuring, snooping, taking photos and videos. All of a sudden, we're on the rooftop, on the top of the building, enjoying the sex dungeon that's been recently built. Just a couple of adults communally enjoying the communal sex dungeon. And next thing you know, it's a bird. Oh, it's not. It's taking photos of your cock, man. What happened to privacy? So that's what's happening with birds, specifically pigeons, if I'm not mistaken. But other birds could be added too. I'm not sure. Maybe a hack. Hack, not hack. Although I'll be. We should get flying hacks. We should do that. We should. Which leads me to the next point. Which I don't really make points, but if I were to make one right now, I would say this: why do we start with? Why do we stop? Why does the science stop with dead birds? Why do birds only get to be taxidermied and droned up and cameraed up and living extendedly amongst us as if they're still alive? Why not do it to which other animal would you like to get taxidermied and stuff it with a drone and put a camera in its asshole and just let it roam around the neighborhood? Which other man? I could, speaking for where I live, the animals that I've encountered, I say crows, I say foxes. I've seen a few foxes, cute little baby foxes. We'll let them get old. But as soon as they drop dead, due to natural or unnatural reasons. But everything is in nature, so I suppose everything is natural then. Foxes, bunch of coons, I tell ya. Bunch of coons fighting in the garbage can over food or leftover food or used condoms, because I've seen a couple of them just, grabbing that rubber and slurping up a little human-made milkshake. Doesn't just bring the boys to the yard, brings all the coons to the yard too. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just saying, why stop with the birds? Why not continue that? And you're like, okay, I see where you're going with this, and I like where you're going there, science man. And I'm like, right back at you, science man, woman, lady. Okay, minds think alike, they say. That's right. Humans. Cost of burials have gone up. I forget, one of the Canadian provinces having an issue with cost of burial as leading to unclaimed bodies. Got yourself an unclaimed body and you're like, man, burials and funerals are way too expensive. Have you thought about taxiderming your friend, your family members, your lovers? Stuffing them with drones and AI and cameras? That's an option. Costly? It's all about scaling. If you could just scale it down, you could still have your loved one drone around. Your grandma could be flying up in the sky taking fucking photos of you while you're enjoying the communal rooftop sex dungeon. Again, why zoom in on that one spot? There are plenty of spots in the city, but specifically rooftop sex dungeon seems to be getting a lot of attention. I'm for it I'm completely for it. Adults only rooftop sex dungeon. Yes. Leave a comment if you'd like to get a communal rooftop sex dungeon on top of your building or at your local community center. Adults only after 8. BYOB. Bring your own babes. But also sharing is caring. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all I'm saying is, if cost of burials have gone up and we're taxiderming feathered friends with robotics and AI and drone tech, we can certainly do the same thing for our loved ones. So instead of burying them in the ground where you won't get to see them, let them fly around every once in a while. Let those bitches loose up in the sky. That's what I say. But make sure empty them out though. Do not do this yourself. You don't want to just grab your dead grandma and stuff her with drone tech and a camera and let her just fucking queef up in the sky. Because the bladder and the small intestine and the loin, they need to be emptied out, or else your grandma's going to be shitting, dropping deuces on our heads while we're just trying to locally, communally enjoy the rooftop communal sex dungeon. So please, Think of others before you go stuffing your grandma with a drone, you sick fuck. I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's scratch this itch. It's right by the tit, right there. Does this do anything for you? Scratching a tit. Or just being fucking retarded. Or just scratching a tit or just being fucking retarded. One of the two. I'll say this, ladies and gentlemen. We're all the same. Different shapes, sizes, we're all the same. Larry. Get your ass over, Larry. Hey, Larry. Typically activities conducted by humans, but guess what, motherfuckers? Elephants are now getting in on the action. That's right. Using machine learning and AI technology, scientists of my community and your community too, the scientists' community, we figured out that elephants are name calling out there. Hey, fuckface. Lift your trunk. I'm trying to put my trunk in your mouth so we can do oral elephant sex. Hey, Larry, come give me a hand with this log, will ya? They'll say that they're name calling each other. Call elephants, we've now discovered, are using names. And apparently they're smarter than, and I'm not sure if they're smarter, but they're doing language shit. This is not the shit that parrots do. This is not the shit that dolphins do, where it's just mimicking noises and sounds to get each other. They've got distinct, unique names like Larry. Get over here, Larry. You'll hear them. The older ones will call the young ones. It's dinner time. Scott, get your ass over here. It's dinner time, Scott. They'll say that. And scientists like myself, we've discovered that. You're welcome. But it is frightening. Because elephants are big. And they've got tusks, which are sharp. Now, I could live with a couple of dolphins eating sardines and clapping their hands and doing backflips. I could be down with you feeding a dolphin and riding it and going off into the sunset and never returning again. I could be okay with that. I could see you walking in the jungle or the jungle and befriending a couple of parrots. You speak and they mimic you. I could be okay with mimicry, but new distinct names. This is now you're dipping your toe, fam, in human territory, and this shit stops right here. So help your boy and help yourself. I will stop these elephants from further communication if they are using names. What other form of communication is going on between elephants and other such animals, like sea lions, or sea horses, or sea biscuits? I will stop them with your help. I will fucking stop these elephants from further communicating with you, because next thing you know, they're gonna be selling real estate, making cold calls, showing up to appointments, writing their names down. I'm sorry, Mr. Sadri, I can't see your car right now. Larry the elephant's brought his car, he's in next. What? How did we get here? Name calling, motherfuckers. That's how we got here. Nip it in the bud. I don't know if they're reading books. I don't know if they're doing audio. I don't know if they're learning the alphabet. Which language are they using to name call each other? Whoever did this shit, quit it right now. Quit it right now. Your last chance. Quit it right now. I already got plenty of Planet of the Apes that I gotta worry about. I don't need elephants learning language. Okay? So cool it with teaching the animals. There's enough animal trickery. I don't need animals talking right now. It's too much going on. Too much. All right around. It's a good amount is going on, but no more. Elephants name calling. Get out of here. But come back. Don't go anywhere. Get out of here, but come back. Let's get a sip of this bad boy right here for a second. Hope you're all doing well. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this. There's incredible stuff happening in and around the world, but if you got yourself a swimming pool, have you? Swimming pool you want to enjoy for the summer? Let your family members and friends come join in the all-nude adult swimming party? Hell yeah. But you're worried about refilling it up with water? And you're like, man, I filled it up with water already once. Do I need to keep refilling it with water? I could afford the pool. I could afford the pool boy and the pool lady, and we could have ourselves a ball for a little bit of extra tip, if you know what I mean. A couple of hundos goes a long way. Forget the pool. Other things need attending to, if you catch my drift. Sex needs to be going on. Forget the pool. Everybody knows why you're here. But you don't need to worry about other costs like refilling the pool with water. Because once you get your guests in the pool, let them piss in the pool, man. Ladies, piss in the pool. Pissing in the pool is a revolutionary new idea that could help you refill your pool without you actually having to go out there and spend money on water. As soon as the sun hits, little by little, the water will evaporate and go into the clouds, and it will one day rain again. But until then, instead of getting the hose and filling it up with water, let everybody pee or piss in your pool. Next thing you know, little by little, people will be coming up to you, man, Mike, how do you keep your water levels so even? And tell them you know a guy or two. And the secret is that you let them all piss in the pool so that the water levels are seemingly all the same. And you're like, what about filling it with water? No need. Liquids are liquids, and piss is mostly water. So instead of draining the pool or filling it back up or worrying about evaporating water, let people piss in your pool. Tip number 105, you're welcome. Saving you money across the nation with coast to coast. Globally speaking, that is. Is there anything we can't crack? Crack itself, because it's apparently really hard to cook, but we're never gonna give up. No, we're never gonna back down. You know who else never backed down? For thousands of years. A tribe in Indonesia never backed down, the Baha tribe, if I'm saying it correctly, or the Baja tribe, or I don't know, it's Baha, Baja. One of the spelling is B-A-J-A-U, give or take a letter or two, I don't know, I don't remember correctly. Baha, I'm gonna go with the Indonesian tribe, famously known as Baha. That's who never backed down, that's who never gave up. Those are the folks living on water boats on top of the water saying fuck land. That's who never backed down. And guess what happened to them? As a result of spending thousands of years living in boats on the water and going for dips, but not just for leisurely or sexual dips in the water, but for sustenance. For grabbing the fish and you go, oh, I'm gonna eat you for lunch and feed you to my family, fish. They have now gotten themselves mixed up in a whole bag of God knows what. They're mutating, and they've mutated already, and they got a mutated gene called crazy water nomad gene or something along those lines. Because these bitches can now breathe underwater for up to 5 hours long. They're living in the water, man. But relax. You're like, they can't go that deep. 230 feet. These motherfuckers are swimming, diving. 230 feet into the depths of the water, the lake, the ocean, the sea, wherever they're residing in Indonesia. They see water, they're like, fuck land, I'm out of here. All I see is bubbles now. Where are they coming from? Jonathan's fucking 230 feet just fucking spearfishing right there, dude, with one breath. Their spleens are getting enlarged. Their double or triple the size, I forget, quadruple the size of the spleen, man. And it's causing more release of red blood cells in the old circulation system, which creates more oxygen apparently. So you got big spleens. You know what they say about guys with big spleens? Stamina. You know what they say about ladies with big spleens? Doesn't matter because they're hot ladies. Guys don't care about spleen size. Unless you're like a size king and you're like, bitch, I need your spleen to be 3 times larger than the average spleen for me to get into this relationship or situationship. Show me your spleen size. Said no guy ever. But ladies, don't pay attention to these Baja tribesmen, because you'll never be able to find them. They're underwater, man. You can't hold them down. But I say, man, if you find one, hold on to them, because these motherfuckers can hold their breath for a really long time. Mind you, they are freaks now. They have mutated. They're mutant freaks. Freaks of nature. I don't know if we want to be associated with these sorts of fellas or ladies, but I like a good freak. No judgment here. But I'm just like, you know, I get it, man. Times are a little bit, you hear stories, at the end of the day, everybody's optimistic, everybody's going about their lives and staying focused on the task at hand and staying in the moment and present. Meanwhile, you hear the murmurs and rumors of more, you know, this, that, social upheaval, this, you know, potential, you know, global conflicts. These people might have got, you know, what do these Baja tribesmen and women know? Do they have access to information that we don't know? Is that why they're dipping into the water for thousands of years so that they can, over time, develop enlarged spleens so they can get away in case of emergencies or in case of shroom clouds and shit? Do the Bajas know something that I need to know? Am I even saying their tribe's name right? Leave a comment if you're from the Baja. If you're underwater. If you're using a water-resistant phone, leave a comment from the Baja. But don't worry, do not fear. I will stop them. I will stop these freaks in their tracks before, again, it gets too crazy, because if it's 5 hours now, and in 1,000 years, they're just going to be living underwater, man. And that shit, I don't trust people that don't live on land. I'll say this shit. The Indonesians might be aliens. They might be fucking some aliens underneath the deep sea or in the depths of the ocean. They might be fucking aliens, and we don't know. But I will stop them myself, single-handedly. I will go wherever they are, and I will urinate in their body of water if need be to stop them. Unless they don't care. Unless they're also cool with urinating in water. Like the folks at the communal sex dungeon on the rooftop. Or the backyard pool party that happens to replenish water supplies by urine. Unless they're cool with it, then I say that we lost this battle. But nonetheless, I will try. Maybe they don't like pee in the water. Maybe I'll get them right in the eye, dude. Maybe I'll pee right in their eye. And I'll burn and can't see where I'm going. That's right. Gotcha, Jonathan. Son of a bitch. 5 hours, huh? Touche. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I think there's a sense of arrogance that's looming. Sense of superiority complex. Sense of, you're better than us because you can spend more time underwater. I'll smoke underwater, son. I'll need some supplies, but I could smoke underwater. But that's just a little bit of Indonesian tribes activities. If you know someone who's breathing underwater for 5 hours, point them out. Shame them in public. Shame. Shame for leaving your regular land folk behind. Fucking around with water and shit. Man, I bet they're fucking underwater. I bet that if you're spending 5 hours in the water, I know, because I've spent plenty of times in the bathroom when I was a young man, in the shower underwater for hours after hours. I know when somebody's spending too much time in water, I know what they're doing, man. I'm going fishing. No, you're not. No, you're not. I went fishing. Came back with no fish. No fish. You know why? Because we fucking. That's what we did. Yeah. So, play your little mind games, you Baja tribesmen and women, thinking you're better than us and shit. I know what you're up to. And the people of the world know what you're up to. Genetically mutated freaks. God. How do we get some of that? Does it take 1,000 years to get 5 hours? What about, forget me, but what if I had a baby with a Baja tribeswoman? Would my baby get at least like 2 hours of like underwater activity with no exertion? Is that like something we could? Then in that case, I suggest you go out there and find yourself a Baja tribesman and woman and start a family with them, because I would assume half your genes and half their genes. That's like at least 2.5 hours, 2 hours of solid underwater time. That's pretty fucking good. I'll say this. So if you're a hot Baja woman who'd like to experiment with babies underwater, leave a comment. But then again, you can't get pregnant in water, so it's gonna be hard. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you can never really truly disagree with anybody that's on a rocking chair, because if you're both sitting on a rocking chair and having conversations and you're both rocking back and forth, it just seems like you're nodding in agreement with each other. So it's really hard to disagree. I just want to point that out with you. So if you have somebody, a loved one, a friend, a family member, a congressman, a congresswoman, an opposite partner in business, and you seem to be disagreeing with each other on a lot of subjects, sit your ass down on a couple of rocking chairs. Notice how quickly you're coming in agreement with each other. It's great. How do you feel about this? I don't know how I feel about this. Would you like to continue doing this some more? I don't know. Maybe. Is there any other options on the table? Yeah, here are some other options on the table. Next thing you know, you're just rocking back and forth in agreement. Bringing people closer together. Like it's never been done before. Rocking chairs. Got in an argument with your wife? Invest in 2 rocking chairs. Sit in front of each other and just nod and agree in silence. Got in a little bit of a disagreement with your lesbian partner? Build yourself like some lesbian partners do. Build yourself a couple of rocking chairs. Sit in the rocking chairs. Sip on some Bloody Marys or sangrias and just nod and say yes. Yes. Tonight, tribbing on the local communal rooftop sex dungeon at 8 p.m. Adults only, yes. Rocking. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this. I think I hope you're all enjoying this, by the way, because these sounds, some people have to like get people that play music, which I love, or create noises using their mouth or some sort of instrument. That real shit, son. When does it stop? When does it start? Spontaneous. I don't even know. But it's the sound of nature. And I love nature. I'll tell you, before I start my day, every day I pretty much lather myself up with honey and I just go and go into nature, into the woods and all, and I call out the bears. I'm like, come get some. If you want some, come get some. Drip in with honey. Drip in with honey. I've yet to encounter any bears because they're a bunch of puss. Don't listen to the hype. If you see a bear, leave immediately. Nah, lather yourself up with honey. Call them out so they know what's going on. Who's in charge? You are. You're in control. We might be having a minor cocaine problem, ladies and gentlemen. We might be having a minor cocaine problem, and it's devastating. It's alarming. It's a little bit of it's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you. We've got a minor cocaine problem. Europe has $1 billion appetite for cocaine, as does the rest of the world. We might have a minor cocaine problem. Little black children from African countries are, when they're unaccompanied, which means they've got no companies, they don't know anything about business, unaccompanied children, unaccompanied minors, unaccompanied migrants from Africa are getting lured into gangs, which are then being trafficked in and across the world, specifically Europe, but not just Europe, other places too. And they're getting affiliated with all sorts of gangs, and they're going out there slanging dope, being forced to sell dope, forced to deal cocaine or cocaine or coco. Little bit of cocoa, a little bit of that snow, a little bit of the devil's dandruff, a little bit of nose candy. Little black children are basically, if I could sum this up nicely for all of us, little black children are stealing food from my children's mouth. Or the table that my children would be eventually eating off of. Like, they'll have plates that they're not gonna be eating right, like, unless we're like, it's camping or whatever, we're gonna be eating right off the table, kids. I do want to make sure that we are all on this. I don't actually have kids as of yet, but down the line I fucking could. And you know how daddy likes to provide? By selling a couple of bricks. By getting a couple of bricks and then selling a couple of bricks. That's what daddy likes to do. But daddy can't do that shit, because daddy made a decision a long time ago. I kind of forget what the decision was, but nonetheless, dope dealing. Daddy would like to sell a couple of bricks. But guess what? Guess who gets the benefits of being gang affiliated at a very young age? Unaccompanied African children. Again, stealing fruit from my children's mouths, because I want to be selling dope. I want to be selling bricks of coke. But if the gangs and the mafias, like the Moroccan mafia, for example, is like going up to youngins and saying, "Hey man, we're a bunch of ageists, mafiosos who go after the young. Come here, young blood. Get in and under the umbrella. Come, we'll help you sell drugs and live a lavish life up till the age. You'll live a lavish life up until the age of 15 or 16, maybe, if you're lucky." So please, help your boy. Help yourself. Help me help myself. I want to be selling bricks of coke, but guess what? I can't pass as a adolescent African youth yet. I'm working on it. It is summertime. Never say never. My forearms are tanned. I'm working on it, okay? I'm under a lot. I'm working on it. Stand in the sun, you say? It's not going to be an hour. It's not going to be like a 5. I'm going to stand under the sun a long time, all right? All I'm saying is, if you like to stop little black children from stealing food from my children's mouth, know that there is a whole global syndicate going on right here. If you like the nose candy, if you like the powder puff, if you like to powder your nose, if you're like coffee doesn't do it for me no more, just want you to know that there are young hustlers involved, unaccompanied young hustlers. How do we stop this? How do we make it so that I could sell coke and not young bloods? Decriminalize it. Let a proper lab build the coke from scratch, like a nice Italian grandma who likes to cook from scratch. But let those manufacturers build them. But also give out their recipes so that regular people can cook it up too, so that we could sell it too. I don't care who really cooks it. I just want to be able to sell it, to be honest with you. I've always fantasized about popping open my trunk, having a few bricks or all the bricks in the trunk, getting a butterfly knife, whipping it open, dabbing a little bit on my pinky, rubbing it on my gums. I don't know if that's how you do coke. That's how I've seen people try out coke and say, yes, that's the good stuff. And I don't know what to look for, so I'll just be fucking imitating what I've seen. I'll just be fucking rubbing my gums hard. Yes, this is the good shit. Yes. Give myself fucking scurvy because I rubbed it way too hard. Yes, this coke is so good on my gums. I'll do that shit, but guess what? I can't do it because of the competition. Because again, there's young blood in the market getting first-hand access to the mafia and the gangs, which is hard to come by. Because I'm like, if you know a guy who knows a guy, tell a guy, let a guy get connects, let a guy do his thing. Don't bring the police, don't get them involved. Decriminalize it so that the police don't need to get involved, because there's a lot of other shit that we need to be doing. And you're like, if we decriminalize them, man, people are going to be doing the thing. It's already one of the biggest markets out there. It's $1 billion industry out there. People are doing it all day, every day. And not just coke, everything else in between too. I'm not advocating anything. I'm just saying shit goes on. And it's hard to come by a good mafia group that you can trust. And they look to the young. And you got to be unaccompanied. Where were you when I was unaccompanied? All this time, unaccompanied for a really long time. Still unaccompanied. No companies. Except like this one, which is a podcast, which is a company, I suppose. It's not really I'm not a businessman. I just like making people happy. I just like selling a couple of bricks, feeding my children, and letting people know that you can't just fucking jump into this thing right off the bat when you're like 11 and unaccompanied. All right, go to school, god damn it. Thousands of children, thousands of them, stealing food from my children's mouths in the future. Or maybe I don't want to even have kids. Maybe I just want to sell coke and just build a mansion off of coke money. No, you gotta know people. You gotta pay off the officials. You gotta you know what I mean? It's just too much. Let's cut the middlemen. Let's make sure these kids go back to school. So they're not taking our jobs, man. I've had enough of young bloods, undocumented, unaccompanied young bloods, getting scooped up by gangs. And again, taking food away from my children and your children too. Because if we could all just sell a bunch of drugs, and you're like, we could just easily decriminalize and just pay already some money from drugs. I like a little bit of hands. I like to actually deliver a couple of bricks. Personally, I don't know. I'm a more like, I gotta get in there. So yes, it takes one step at a time to stop these little black children from stealing food from my children's mouth, your children's mouths too. And they might not all be black. Some of them might be Middle Easterns because of all the wars going on. Some of them might be just fucking Eastern European. It doesn't matter. Unaccompanied young children stealing food from my children's mouths. this shit, when you're taking food from my children's mouths, that's when this shit stops. And again, I'm looking at my cock and I'm saying, I know it's not out yet, but one day, potentially food stealing is going on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Wednesday. I will say this. We've had a blast. Thank you for joining me outside today. Where can you find these videos? And I know you took in a lot of info today. You're like fucking flying birds. Droning. The Bajas or the Bajas. And the children who are involved in gangs telling you so much. I get it. And we'll go through it all together, one step at a time. I'm optimistic that if we work together, we could all be selling dope. Or getting sponsored by somebody who sells something. Where can you find these videos? Every Wednesday and Friday for the time being. On Instagram, follow me. Subscribe on the YouTube channel if you'd like to get the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show. Because we all know who's not supporting the show. These kids who are, again, stealing from your boy's potential business endeavors. And I'll be back here again on Friday. In the meantime, sending everybody positive vibes out there. Sending you all love. Get out of here. Peace out. Get out of here. I gotta go. Get out of here.